Hi, Lenny Sharp, Sharp Mountain Homes Team, eXp Realty. So I had an idea for this video, and it was originally going to be a day in the life, and I started with pest inspection on the top of a hill at a house I've got in escrow. And then I decided that I'll just focus on showing property. So I had some clients, new clients, visiting from Southern California, and they came up to see a long list of properties. We actually squeezed an extra one in the night they arrived, then saw 6 properties on the second day and 4 properties today, which was the last day. So it's David and Priscilla. I met them through Bigger Pockets, which is a podcast and community serving real estate investors, and in their case, short-term rental investors. So perfect for my core business, which is short-term rental investors in the Yosemite National Park area, primarily communities like Oakhurst, Mariposa, Ahwahnee, Bass Lake, and the like. I was just going to share with you our journey looking at properties over several days. So with that, I'm going to send it over to the next segment of the video where we actually walk through the properties that we saw. So they are active investors trying to close on a property. We saw a bunch of listings. We did the analysis, started looking at preliminary numbers, seeing what works from a ROI perspective. And we're gonna walk through these properties and then wrap it up at the end. So enjoy the journey. Okay, before we actually go on the tour of the properties, I just wanted to share a little bit about the process I go through and how I stay organized. So for David and Priscilla, we actually had a pretty good lineup, and this is a spreadsheet that I use to organize all the showings. And in this case, we had a couple of showings that were canceled, so they were on the original list. Typically, we will send listings back and forth and get a sense for how interested they are in seeing them before they make the trip up. And whenever possible, I will either send them a video tour that I've already done because I'm familiar with the property, or I'll go ahead and send a new preview video. In this case, we had several showings scheduled for September 2nd. And then, as it turned out, they added a new listing they wanted to see. So we squeezed that in the evening that they arrived on the 1st. So we saw this home on Scenic Drive. You'll also notice that I go ahead and list out the sales price, bedrooms, bathrooms, square foot, and lot size, just to have that all organized in one spot. The time that we're going to be looking at the house, if there is a code to get in information about that. So I've got that at my fingertips, and I can also share that with the buyers, in this case, David and Priscilla. Now you'll notice these columns here, I go ahead and run AirDNA numbers. And again, I think as we've described before, AirDNA is a good starting point, not necessarily the end point in terms of what the home will do, because we really have to drill into the specific comps that AirDNA uses. So those comparable Airbnbs around the property in question. But like I said, it's a good starting point. It takes the average of close proximity properties that meet the bedroom, bathroom, and guest count, and comes up with an average. So it gives you a projection. I did this for each of these properties. And you'll notice here, some of these properties actually have multiple projections. So in this case, Locust Rd and Sugar Pine is a 3-2, small 3-2 at 1,166 square feet. And AirDNA thinks that as a 3-2, that property will do $96,000 a year. And then I calculate the gross yield. So it's just simply what percentage of that sales price, if in fact they pay list price, would they generate per year? And Airbnb thinks that Locust would do about 21.3% gross yield. So again, this is a good starting point to evaluate and compare. It is also already on Airbnb, and they rent it as 2 individual units. So there's a 2-1 and a 1-1, and at that location, those are both projected to each generate almost $60,000 a year in revenue. So if you look at the total of the 2 units, $117,800, that's 26.2% gross yield, which is fantastic. We're typically looking for a solid gross yield in the 15 to 20% range, which after expenses should get you to positive cash on cash returns. So Locust was definitely a highlight to be seen, but I did this for all the properties, and I'll just call out one other property here on this list, which is Bon Veu. This is a current Airbnb. I provided the link to the listing itself so that they can go on Airbnb, see the listing, read the reviews, and really get a sense for what do guests like or maybe dislike about the property. So in this case, the AirDNA numbers were actually not very high, but their actuals were almost $87,000 last year. We love to have actual numbers for an existing Airbnb. Even though there may be room for improvement, there likely is room for improvement, and we get that information from the reviews. And seeing the property and just noticing what could be upgraded. Are there design choices that maybe we would make differently? Are there outdoor spaces that can be improved? We found all of those at Bon Veu. So even though the core is good, 15.1% gross yield based on their actual numbers and a $539,000 list price. We saw those 2 properties along with the rest, and what I'm going to do now is we'll just shift to the actual tour. We're hunting for houses. We have a process. We do a lot of due diligence up front, and then we do a lot of analysis after the fact to determine which, if any, of these homes they will make an offer on. Anyway, I hope you find that helpful. And again, understanding my process and understanding a bit about the actual search for real investors searching for their very first short-term rental property ever, and specifically in the Yosemite National Park area in Oakhurst.
Lenny Sharp here, Sharp Mountain Homes team of eXp Realty. We're going to preview this home on Scenic Drive in Oakhurst. Beautiful home by the creek. We're going to take a look at this property, which is already currently on Airbnb. Numbers look good, location's great, and this is turnkey. So it's being sold with everything you're going to see today. We are right here by the creek. You can hear it rushing. Got some great views off this front deck and just nestled in the trees. So let's go ahead and take a look inside the house. So you enter into the living area. It's got that nice stone fireplace and a pretty large living room with the wood beams and the high ceiling. So very inviting as the guests enter. Got the dining area around here. That deck we were on does wrap around, and you can see some outdoor furniture and a hot tub. We've got a kitchen that's open to the dining with a nice granite counter, black appliances that all look to be in good shape. Through here we've got the fridge, the laundry area, and then this bathroom on this level with a separate vanity that is accessible from this bedroom. So this is the main level of the house, and you can see if we kind of reverse that this bedroom is right off the entryway. So now we're going to take a look at the other 2 bedrooms and bathroom up this spiral staircase, which again, I think adds a little visual interest and will look good on listing photos. Now they've installed a mesh for safety, not super attractive, but certainly guest liability is something you've got to pay attention to. And these bars are not 4 inches across, which would be current code. If you step over here at the top of the stairs, we've got our first bedroom, nice size, room for a seating area, and nice tall ceilings with picture windows and a view. And then opposite, we've got this other bedroom, a bit smaller, but still very well appointed. And again, you can lay in bed and see that view. There's one more bathroom here. Looks like the cleaners haven't been here yet. This is a turnover day, so they've got a full bath to service those 2 bedrooms. So yeah, all in all, pretty nice spot. And the nice thing about it is you don't have to guess what your revenue is going to be. They've done, I think, a little over $120,000 in 22, about $100,000 a year in 23 and 24. But I would say, based on looking at the listing and the reviews, there's definitely some room for upside through revenue optimization and just sprucing things up a bit, although it is primarily turnkey. Okay, I did want to grab a little footage of the deck and yard. You can see here's the back of the house. Extends up this hill for privacy. Barbecue area, hot tub. Deck could definitely use finishing. Large outdoor sitting area. And then, as I said, this just wraps back around to the front. Yeah, super nice spot. And they did mention there's another lot included with the purchase that's down by the creek. Got to take a look at that and see exactly where it's located. Immediately across the road are other houses, so it might not be right adjacent to the house. It's a dramatic look with the dark paint and the high vaulted roof. So I think this is definitely a good option. Okay, our first showing, which is on Manzanita Drive in Bass Lake Heights. And again, we're just gonna do a real quick walkthrough of these properties that we're seeing today. I'm with my buyers. They might be in frame at one point or another, but hope you enjoy this. This is a small 3-2, but it's probably a flip because it's super clean and remodeled inside. It looks like a whole house remodel. We've got this gravel circular drive up front. We'll go ahead and step around the back so you can just get a sense of the lot. And it's pretty rough. Would have been a good idea for the realtor to have some weed eating done, because this could be cleaned up and look really quite nice, kind of peaceful here. We're only about 10 minutes from the lake, so it's a good location. Looks like they had a hot tub there at one point, and so you could do cornhole or a putting green. So the backyard has some potential. The deck feels pretty solid, and again, good size. House has been painted. You see some little stuff coming through the paint. So roof looks new, but the HVAC doesn't.
So again, like all flips, they choose what to invest in, and they definitely went for the cosmetic upgrade. So doing this in reverse, we'll come in the primary bedroom off the deck. Quick look in the bathroom, you can see new everything. Not super high-end materials, but certainly decent. Same luxury vinyl plank floor throughout. Here is the shared bathroom. Again, they went with the inserts, which are functional but not super high-end. And then this bedroom here with a small closet. And we'll wrap around here to the kitchen. Again, new cabinets, new counters, new floor, new paint, new ceiling fans, new hardware on all the doors. So this is, I think, a very functional potential vacation rental, and could be a good option. Again, smallish, no real obvious opportunity to divide it up into smaller units, but that might not be necessary here. All right, on to the next one. Okay, this is showing number 2. It's Pamela Place, and we're going to do this very quickly. I've been at this house before and featured it in a video for sub $400,000 properties. That was the living room, galley kitchen, dining area, empties onto the back patio, and then we'll work our way around this side of the house where we have bedroom number 1, bedroom number 2, and full bath here, and bedroom number 3, which is the primary bedroom. You could add a door there and turn this into a separate suite, but you can see everything has been nicely updated. Really good luxury vinyl plank floor. Solid option, under $400,000. So moving on to number 3 for the day. All right, showing number 3, Bon Veu. This is a current operating Airbnb. We're going to go ahead and check things out. Priscilla's going to check out the lights because that's her specialty.
I'm very picky.
Yeah. I turned everything on.
Oh, you did. Thank you.
So we enter the main room. Nice high wood ceiling. Got a shuffleboard room there. We've got a bedroom on this side with access to the deck. Kitchen with a nice counter, stainless appliances. Everything looks to be in good shape. Bedroom number 1. And you've got the ceiling throughout the whole house, so that's good. Shared bath. Actually, that was bedroom number 2. This is bedroom number 3, which is also the primary bedroom. And we've got another bath here. With a nice tiled bathtub and access to the deck. Hot tub, seating, dining, barbecue, and good sized backyard with a cowboy pool. Not sure what the state of the pool is, but They do advertise it on their Airbnb, so I'm assuming it's usable. Looks like it could use some cleanup at least, but yeah, it could be a nice, cool place to relax and refresh. Here's the low part of the lot, and kind of a double driveway. And down here we've got the garage. Slash game room. So anyway, we do recommend typically turn the garage into a game room. Good use of space. This one isn't super deluxe, could be upgraded. But anyway, there you have it. Showing number 3, Bon Veu Drive, and we'll move on to number 4. Showing number 4 today. This was not on our list. It's on Poplar in Sugar Pine. It was not on our list because it's not even listed yet. But the listing agent knew I was looking for properties like this.
I'm sorry,
She decided to allow us to see it. This is actually a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with 2 separate units. So we are in the lower unit now, which has got 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and a little kitchenette, which works fine for couples.
Are you two looking for investment or something for yourself? Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, 2 bedrooms.
What's that? Yeah, exactly. He just started putting it on a couple months ago. And he's kept his prices down for now so that he can get really good reviews. And he's already, it's only been on for a couple months and he's already super host.
Now we're upstairs and take a look at the second unit. You can see beautiful views through the trees. And in here we've got the larger unit, which has this front living area, full bath with shower, and you can see the living area's got a twin bed in it. And this unit has a full kitchen, which is pretty decent size, stackable washer and dryer. Everything looks like it's been remodeled nicely. And then in here is the bedroom. Again, what we've got here is optionality. We can rent this as a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom listing for probably 5 people, or a 2-1 for 3 and a 2-1 for 2.
Upstairs.
So
Yeah.
good option. Okay, we're back in Cedar Valley at Chu Ranch Rd. This is an awesome little house. It's actually 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. It's a current Airbnb. Nice quiet street. Good sized lot. And very cool, relaxing, wraparound covered porch. So we'll just move our way around the house to the front door. So step inside, we've got some nice luxury vinyl plank flooring, dining table there, access to the porch there, comfortable living area, very nice kitchen, big island. Look at all those stools. Everybody can sit at the breakfast bar. And appliances look great. Stainless sink. Beautiful counter and cabinets. Nice fridge. Into the laundry area. And then back here, we've got 2 bedrooms. This one is a little oddly shaped, but functional. And it's got this
tiny little bathroom, but with a nice shower. So that is one bedroom. And what I guess we'd call the primary bedroom is over here. We've got a king-size bed. Bed pretty much fills the room, but this also has ensuite bath. Got nice tile shower there. Good looking floor. Everything looks nice there. So one thought is these back two bedrooms could be a separate unit. So single French door there, kitchenette here, and lock off the back unit from the front unit there. So just a possibility to maximize revenue in the off season. Because over here on this side, in addition to the living, dining, kitchen, got a nice full bath with tub shower combo. A little bit bigger bedroom here, and a room with two twin beds here. So you can imagine that in particular during the off season when fewer large groups are traveling, you could have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath in front and a 2-bedroom, 1-bath behind. And then of course during high season, you would rent this as a 4-3. So anyway, that's Chu Ranch Rd, and it is a current Airbnb. I think it's doing reasonably well, but like I said, not necessarily taking advantage of the revenue optimization techniques that we talked about. We just finished our 5th showing of the day, which was Chu Ranch. That one is in Cedar Valley. So now we've moved to Ahwahnee, and we are at Road 600. And this appears to be a current Airbnb. It's on the golf course, so we'll take a look. But you can see the main house there, which is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. And there's also a small studio, which they're using as a game room now. And here's the garage. Personally, I think it makes more sense to convert the garage to a game room, which would be giant, but pretty cool. And quite frankly, with the addition of a bathroom and a kitchenette, that 4-car garage could be another unit with or without game room. So a lot of potential there. We'll just work our way around to the studio first and then the main house. And I wasn't aware that this was a current vacation rental, but definitely has the feel of an Airbnb with all of the furnishings and the decorating. So I'm assuming that's the case, but we're waiting on confirmation. So just past the main house here, we see this little studio unit. They are using it currently as a game room. So foosball table, pool table, mini split, kitchenette, and bathroom with a shower. So definitely this could be a second unit. We'll go ahead and take a quick look at the main house. The grounds are really well kept. We've got the living area here. Some nice finishes, nice floor. And work our way around here to the open kitchen. Quartz counter, stainless appliances, and dining room. And you can see right off the deck we've got
deck that's being repainted. We've got golf course views, as well as nice views of the hillside. There's the back of the studio there. Just work our way back in and take a look at the bedrooms and bathrooms. So, coffee bar, wine fridge, full bath here with some wood look tile. Got this bedroom here. Room for what looks to be a double and a twin. This room here, which has got a king size bed. Bedroom number 3, which has an outside entrance and it looks like 2 doubles. And the primary bedroom with a king and a nicely appointed bathroom with a roomy shower. All the finishes are good, furnishings look nice. This is pretty turnkey. And wow, yeah, this nice little sitting area. I kind of passed by that, but yeah, so good option, I think.
All right, day 3. We are now back in Sugar Pine looking at a off-market listing that we learned about yesterday at another off-market listing. So this has been an adventure in terms of showings, not all on the MLS. We can hear the creek running, and we're going to check out this house on Road 630. So we're going to go up the side per our instructions, and so I understand they have cameras, and it looks like there might be somebody here, so maybe we'll, I think they said they were going to exit. This is, we understand, a 3-bedroom, but I understand that maybe we could turn it into a 4. Nicely appointed. Kitchen here, which also has access to the deck. Tile counters, cabinets in pretty good shape. We've got laundry area there. Down the hall, full bath with a clawfoot tub, pretty sweet. Back bedroom, which is being used as an office. Pantry. And so that was 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom down. And we'll go ahead and head up to the upstairs, where we have 2 bedrooms. There's bedroom 1 upstairs and bedroom 2 upstairs, and kind of a little semi Jack and Jill arrangement. Access to a back stairway. So that's double doors there into the bathroom. So far, so good. And they mentioned another bonus room. I'm not sure if that's downstairs, so we'll go check that out. Yeah, so here's the other entrance. And so I suspect there's a space that could be converted into a 4th bedroom down below. So, see what we're dealing with here. We've got this front patio, can hear the creek. And, okay, so right now it's a little workshop / utility space. And yeah, so there's potential. Not sure what the plumbing situation is, but obviously we'd have to tie into the plumbing and electrical to add a bathroom if we wanted to turn that into a separate suite. So yeah, potential, gorgeous location. And that's our first showing of day 3. And we'll be moving on to some other properties. Showing number 2 on day 3. We're back at Scenic Drive for a different black house. I've actually got video of this house, so I'll probably cut that in here. But this will be 8 or 9 houses we've seen so far on this trip. David and Priscilla. So hope to find them one. This is a current vacation rental and somewhat challenging to view because they are almost fully booked. I'll let you know some of the scheduling issues. Nice deck and picnic area, barbecue, fire pit in the backyard, the best pest inspector in the area, Adam Kasner. We'll go up there. That's the master balcony. Nice setting, good location, no real views to speak of. A little peekaboo view of the hills, but just nestled in the trees. So let's go in and take a look around. Enter into the living area. Wood burning stove, nice mountain atmosphere and decor. We've got high ceilings. In this area, right off the living area, is a 1 bedroom with the barn doors. And down this hall, we have the downstairs bath with shower. And another bedroom, 2 twin beds. Go ahead and go through the back of the bathroom here. Take a peek in the laundry room. You can see, looks like a new water heater, dining area, and kitchen. Everything's in pretty good shape. Kitchen is not modern. The tile is older, but serviceable to start, and I would recommend maybe thinking about a kitchen upgrade at some point. Now we're going to go up the stairs into the master bedroom. So from here you've got this little landing so that the parents can keep an eye on what's going on downstairs. And then a nice master with, again, high ceilings, good amount of room. The balcony overlooking the backyard, and then the master bath, which is tastefully done. Shower as well. So no tub, But again, for most guests, that's not an issue. Nice large closet area. That kind of wraps up the inside of the house. Nice layout, nice feel. I think definitely worth considering, and we'll now go take a look at the garage. All right, we're just gonna run downstairs and take a look at the garage area. There is actually parking up the hill. So if you ever did a conversion and turned this into a second unit, it would have its own parking. All right, let's try this again with the lights on just so you can see a little bit better. Wood storage there for now. Storage room in the back. Engineered trusses, so no opportunity to open it up. But yeah, could definitely be a studio second unit. All right, before we take off, just wanted to make a point that the HVAC system looks new. Smallish propane tank, and literally the smallest water storage tank I've ever seen, but it's got a pressure tank. So as long as the well is producing, that shouldn't be an issue. So for showing number 3 on day 3, we're back at Locust in Sugar Pine. This is a house I've shown a few times, has tremendous Airbnb potential because it's a quasi 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, but it's already neatly divided into 2 separate units with separate outdoor areas, and as individual units actually generates quite a bit more revenue. And we've taken a look at the house with David and Priscilla, and we were fortunate enough to run into the owner who was here cleaning. So they are having a chat about the house and what it's like to own a Airbnb here in Sugar Pine. And I've got a video walkthrough of the house, so I will just cut it in here so that you can see exactly what we found at our 3rd showing here in Sugar Pine. So enjoy the tour, and we'll be moving on to the next one. We are at 49988 Locust in Sugar Pine, and you can see gorgeous location, tall pine trees, quiet except for the construction. So we've got 2 parking spots up here, and my truck isn't parked in one. There's one right there. And we walk down to the house. So the thing to keep in mind is that this home is actually already divided into 2 units. So that gives you awesome revenue potential. Got this nice outdoor area, barbecue, fire pit, and again, beautiful view, little garden area down there. We'll start in the upstairs unit. So we've got a nice wraparound porch, very rustic, but I think you notice the metal roof, which is great for both fire resistance and insurance and longevity. So step into the living area, and it's ample, not giant, but again, this is a smallish unit. Got this little sleeping nook, which is great for kids or potentially a single person. And in here we have the kitchen, pretty roomy, little breakfast bar there. We've got the bedroom. That looks like a queen. A king would be tight, but possible. And I also suspect that this is being sold furnished. So you can at least start with what's here. Full bath here with a little step down
shower. This is the entry. Water heater bundled up there. So we came around the porch side, but there is the entry off of the kitchen there. That's the upstairs unit. And again, this could be rented as one whole house to a larger group, or you can divide it up, because the smaller units are definitely going to have higher occupancy in the off season. So that's super important to consider. So we've got larger deck with another barbecue. So again, this can be rented separately. Got a little bamboo privacy fence there. Houses in this neighborhood are pretty close together, but this is so close to Yosemite that it works. You don't need a lot of land, and even a little sitting area down there with views. So tremendous amount of outdoor space for a small home. And here we've got a freestanding wood fireplace, comfortable sitting area. And this one does not have a full kitchen, but again, for smaller spaces, microwave, coffee maker, and mini fridge will suffice. Looks like we have another queen bed here and another full bath with a shower. So both the upstairs and downstairs units have showers and not bathtubs. Frankly, that's going to be geared towards either two couples, or if it is a family, somebody with older kids that don't need a bathtub. But anyway, that'll give you a good sense of this property. I think it's a tremendous opportunity and should really be considered as your next investment. And all right, there you have it.
We are at my brand new listing. It's at 42179 High Point Court here in Ahwahnee. And we like to call this Miners Town, as it will become obvious. There's actually a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, as well as a rustic cabin. So we'll show you both of those, but you can see we've got some outbuildings, kind of keeping with the Miners Town theme. Henry's Garage shop there. And we've got what we call the Miners Cabin. And as you can see, we've marked the parking for the ranch house or the cabin separately, so there's no confusion. So you approach on that gravel driveway. It's in really good shape. And then there's a little corral here. I think the previous owners had some animals. But over here at the Miners Cabin, first we'll take a look at one of these buildings. So this is set up as the general store. And again, kind of keeping with the Miners Town theme. You can see quite a bit of land. This is about a 2.5 acre lot. Modern conveniences, mini split. So we'll go ahead and head inside the cabin. So guests will park out here, come in this cabin, and it's, again, super quaint and rustic, but with modern HVAC and a TV, a nice queen size bed. There's a full bath with shower. Again, a lot of the finishes and appointments are keeping with the rustic cabin feel. This is actually a pull-out couch, so this space here can be rented to 3 guests, and that's actually a key to high occupancy because Airbnb will feed this cabin in the guest searches if they've got 3 guests. So you've got the nice little kitchen there, and then step out on this back porch. So it's a covered porch, some nice Adirondack chairs. You can enjoy the view. And as you can see, it's been set up with extra high capacity washer and dryer to keep up with the laundry needs of the short-term rental. And then on this end of the cabin, this is actually unfinished, but the work has been done to prepare the electrical and tie into the plumbing and septic. So this could either be an expansion of the existing cabin or a 3rd unit. There's a lot of potential here. So with that, we'll just step out on this patio and work our way to the expansive front porch. So we've got this nice covered porch where the guests can sit and enjoy the views, and 4 Adirondack chairs as well as a porch swing. Make sure that there's plenty of seating for the guests. You can see down there we've got the vestiges of the old mine at Minerstown. So let's step into the house. You'll notice that it's got updated luxury vinyl plank flooring throughout. Over on this end of the house, we've got 2 bedrooms, so a nice roomy bedroom here. Accommodates a king bed, no problem. And then this room here for the kids, so we've got a double and a twin. We want to make sure that we can support high occupancy. And then a full bath, so shower tub combo, a nice full bathroom. Got this living area, again, very comfortable, very roomy, formal dining area, and then the kitchen, which is open to the living area. So it's got that nice open feel. All the appliances work great. Nice new refrigerator, and we've got a little office cubby there. So over here, we've got the primary bedroom. Again, king size bed and full bath, which has been remodeled. So really nice finishes, tile, terracotta tile floor, and very comfortable for the primary guest. So we'll just step over here, and we've got another little desk, and then the laundry area with some cabinets and a table for folding clothes. And then we've got a game room. So a foosball table, vintage arcade game, and just a nice, comfortable place to hang out. So don't need a garage. We can use this space as a game room. So that's the interior of the ranch house. Let's just step outside. We've got a new addition, a hot tub, which is super important for guest satisfaction and high booking rates. Plenty of outdoor seating, a nice quiet area in the back, and then a full barbecue. That's Minerstown. This property is for sale. It's an active vacation rental. We can share with you the earnings reports, and I think it can be an outstanding investment with significant upside, with the opportunity to add that 3rd unit.
Okay, that's a wrap. We saw 11 properties in 2.5 days, and hope you found that informative, perhaps enjoyable, and hopefully David and Priscilla will be able to make a decision on what they like best for their first investment purchase. I'll help them with the offer and guide them through the process of getting inspections and all the things that we have to do to move towards a close of escrow. I'll also put them in contact with my resources here, contractors if necessary to make improvements to the property, electrician to hook up the hot tub that they're bound to buy if it doesn't already have one, and cleaners, handymen, weed eaters, all the people that it takes to launch and operate a successful short-term rental in our market. Hope you found that enjoyable. Please subscribe to my channel and I'll keep the content coming. Thank you very much.